Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attacker Productions. Today I bankrupt joined once again by Jake, Austin, and like always, Fluff.
What's going on, y'all?
Hello?
What's up, beautiful people?
And today's matchup is Jake versus Austin. Jake has brought back Syn Shenron, while Austin's brought back his Cell deck. But this time he, which I wasn't aware at the time, went from green-blue to green-yellow. But before we go any further, I do want to point out the time this video comes out at 11 a.m. EST. Within 24 hours, our giveaway will be ending. The giveaway, you may ask, is from TCG Metals, and it is the metal that Austin's currently playing, but not the one that we're giving away. We're giving away the special one, which has the SP3-4 as its like card number, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Check the link down below.
That one's mine. You can't have it.
All the people that complained about the blue-green cell deck can shut the fuck up now. He went to green-yellow. You're welcome.
Oh no, I'm going back to blue-green. They can shut the fuck up more. I told them to shut the fuck up in the comments. I'll play what the hell I want.
So what I like about that take on it, yes, is green-yellow potentially more deadly on turn 5? Yeah. But green-blue is a great variety, especially with the arrivals. And then the 9-drop cell coming out. If you are lucky enough to already have it, it's already out now. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, with our locals, I just do better playing against people with the blue-green, since you know what? I play mostly at locals. Who'd have thought? But yeah, no, I did better with blue-green than I did green-yellow based on the matchups people play usually. Against yellow, I personally do better having extra blue in there, and so that's why I prefer using blue-green over green-yellow.
So this is kind of a rematch where you guys did play last week. Of course, Austin was using green-blue. So I feel like in this matchup, now correct me if I'm wrong, Jake kind of knows what to go into, what to play, what not to play, and you have some experience on now what to do against him in case you weren't already prepared.
Yeah. The biggest thing is I played it with Cooler Mill against Syn Shenron a lot, and so I had to think of the matchup very differently, just being so used to playing Cooler Mill and not caring too much about this. Like, it was mostly the player I was piloting it, and because I knew that matchup so well, but now not playing that, I've had to relearn all this, and it's just me as a player being bad against yellow. It's very frustrating, and I wanted to play blue-green, but I got tired of asking you all to borrow a couple cards, so I just thought I didn't have time, so I was like, I'll try green-yellow this weekend.
And the green-yellow variant is just as strong, if you ask me.
Yeah, I sell things out differently. Like, you know, I still run this Frieza Unison. I don't run the Vegito Unison, and I like the Frieza Unison because the big issue I have is, for some reason, whenever I play green-yellow, by like turn 2, I see 2 of the 4 drop green-yellow cells, which you want to see in your deck. So I use the Frieza's +1 to put it back on top of the deck, so that way I can use it to play out from the deck instead of playing from my hand and not even getting to draw a card from that. So that's very nice, and I get the crit.
Yeah, I would say the crit from the Awakened Leader plus the Unison, and there are the few cards that are sprinkled in the deck, which could come in handy. One being you already have it charged, because Jake won't awaken until at least turn 4 with a Unison or get down to 3 life. With the Android 18 as a super combo, you would definitely are resource controlled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very nice. I remember when I first started playing this game, I thought crit was bad, and I was like, well, I don't want people want to use double strike and stuff more. It's way better. And then as you play more, you're like, oh, you're fine with taking some double strikes, but when you're like crit, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, it really depends on the kind of deck you're playing, which is worse. Crit tends to play really well against like other control decks that like kind of bank on picking up their life as part of their game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then double strike's good at just punishing aggro for spending all of their resources on their turn.
Yeah, and one thing I like about crit too is that it, especially if you're doing more like, you know, resource control of the hand, you know, more hand control stuff, it forces them to think if they want to combo out of it or not, and use more of their resources in their hand or whatnot. And for this game, even though I wasn't playing the green-blue variant, I still feel like I did a pretty good job of keeping your hand size down pretty low this whole game.
Oh yeah. I think at this point I'm at like 4 or 5 cards to your 8 or 9.
Yeah. And the whole time, like, I'm trying to put pressure on the board and trying to do things to where I can hit you and make you just take life fast enough. So the goal is, to get you down before turn 6 can happen. Or if turn 6, gets to that, I have the resources I need by drawing and everything and trying to save up for it. And it was nice to see that.
Yeah.
Last matchup where it was like the second card I would have drawn.
I thought it was really tough here, you using that super combo as well. Like, that's just definitely saying, hey, you're gonna crit these 2 life.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like using the Vile Creator on the leader, especially with that super combo. It makes basically you get rid of 3 cards.
Yeah, I remember thinking, like, he's definitely done. Like, after that 3-drop swing, and you just keep on going.
Yeah, I wanted to get the 4-drop on the board here, just so I could, I can't remember if I go into the 8-drop here or not. I think I'm potentially, like, just getting it set up. I think I just answered my own question. There we go. I go into the 8-drop there, and I just wanted to have another attacker or another blocker on board. Maybe if you get a little more aggressive, trying to swing at me with something.
Yeah, I remember having to think long and hard about these next couple of interactions.
Mm-hmm. This was definitely a turn where, personally, I was like, okay, I'm in a groove. I'm doing really well. I feel like I had really good control of the game, and doesn't happen too often, especially with me against yellow. I think it gets you down to 3 life here, and it still, with how I am against yellow and just Syn Shenron in general, even though I feel like I'm in control, I still have all this immense pressure on me because of this deck.
And I got lucky with you choosing to keep Cell in active mode. Like, Nimbus no discard, and then if you just kept attacking me after that, that would have felt so bad.
I honestly think my brain just kind of forgot. You said no discard on Nimbus, and I think I was like, well, I can't attack again. And all right, and like I was like, well, I guess I can use them for a blocker, but at this point, I feel like I definitely should have just kept going at it. Made you spend your resources differently.
So here, what Oceans gives it blocker barrier, right?
Correct.
So it is protected from the cell now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a frustrating card to go against in this matchup, because if it was the other 9-drop, that just has the blocker 30k, I can just KO it very easy. But giving it barrier is insane against this deck. I do have, in hindsight, I had some cards I should have sided in for this that I actually did have side, but I left my sideboard at home. We do best of 1 sideboards right now, so I think in the future I'm going to put those in when I'm playing against decks like this. But yeah, that barrier was really hard to get around.
Yeah, and I pretty much knew you were gonna dormant.
You called it too in the match. You're like, let's see that dormant.
So I'm going through my drop area, thinking there's a whole lot of different stuff I have to do here in order for me to like get set up the way I want to. And the first step is getting this 8-drop off the table.
Yeah, getting the 8-drop is pretty pivotal, especially since you can go Vile Creator it to get a 30k double strike swing, then restand and get a 25k double strike swing.
Yeah, it's It's a lot of pressure.
Not to mention there's 2 crits on the board. So, just 1 crit when you hit take that, it's a lot of pressure. And this is just I remember I could not think what was going through your head. And I think right here I use the ability for the sacrifice, which it doesn't matter in the long run because it just like KO'd anyways.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it died. So using that Black Kamehameha offensively really helped me out here.
Yeah.
And then I just went ahead and played Nova and used its ability just to try and get something else on the table. So we play Syn. It doesn't get to lock your leader down, but I'll have another blocker when it comes back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then here I go ahead and play the big guy too, just so I can draw another card.
Oh, that's why you did that. I thought you, because he's a blocker, isn't he? Or is he just triple strike?
He's triple strike.
Oh, okay, I thought he was also a blocker, and I was like, man, he's loading the board up.
So on that Oceanus, I saw a couple of good targets, and I accidentally put this in my energy, but I end up catching it. I'm like, wait a minute, this shouldn't be there. Because he charges, and I'm like, why are you only at 4?
I wouldn't even noticed it, honestly.
Yeah, that's a slick move,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, this shouldn't be in my energy. My fault, man.
Jake trying to play off these sleight of hand energy.
Yeah.
It's the new ramp Oceanus.
Yeah, I don't know. It coming out in the new set. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. It's a promo.
It's pretty spicy.
The video game promo.
Yeah,
To be more
you
exact.
probably don't have it. You probably don't have it.
You probably haven't seen it.
It's from Japan only. I remember thinking here, like, I was just worried because I know, like, I have this turn, the next turn, she gets turn 6, where Syn Shenron, like, it's a very pivotal turn, and the fact that you don't have a Mecha Kabura Unison up made me very happy, because the last matchup that wrecked me, the Mecha Kabura Unison.
Oh yeah, it puts in a ton of work, especially if you like I've had opponents like get frustrated and just start attacking it straight up, and I'm like, oh thanks, that's what I was gonna do with it anyway.
Yeah.
And then just go ahead and rest down a threat.
Yeah, I forgot that it was blocker when we last played, and then I was prepared for this matchup, and not seeing it on your turn 4, like I said, made me quite happy.
Yeah, I think in this game it was a little bit too much. And then you went ahead and popped the -2 there.
Yeah, I didn't have Dormant in hand, so I was like, well, I gotta do a Floodgate somehow. It's another reason why I like this Unison.
It's such a great backup to Dormant. Like you said, like if you just happen, even with all your draws and thinning the deck out, if you don't see it, it does give you a secondary option.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I think it's just battle cards, though, right?
Just battle cards, yeah. And they have to, if they attack, they have to KO a card 2 or more. So he can't, pick his 1-star balls, and he can't pick anything with barrier on it.
So it really limits my options as to what to do this turn. If you still look, I'm still thinking about charge phase. Like,
I think you
there's
have 2 cards right now.
2 or 3. There's a few play lines I can go down, but it's just really important. Actually, I think I have more than. Looks like I have 3, yeah. But it's really important I play this exactly the correct way, because if I don't, I could potentially just straight up lose.
Yeah, this was a very important turn. Because I correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like, Syn Shenron, its win con is to get to turn 6, correct?
Sometimes, in against green, especially where you're extending the game with a lot of negates, it's definitely going to go to 6 most games. But a lot of times you'd like to end the game on 5 with a big Xeno Cell and like a triple striker to back it up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In a perfect world.
Yeah.
So the Frieza doesn't affect my leader swing, so I go ahead and try and get a card draw here. And here comes Bupo, which just shuts me down further.
Yeah, I know you can pop out some guys really quick. I saw before with some effects, so my thought process was I wanted to stop just as many attacks as I could.
I remember bystanding and watching this match, and I see where your thought process was. I think this Bupo would have been better served a turn later.
I agree. In hindsight, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second here.
Yeah.
But
Also, I should have an energy tabbed for this Nova, but I don't think that it ends up mattering. Like, I don't think there's ways for me to spend the energy. So,
yeah, there's that. And this right here is got 4 cards in hand. He can pick 3 of them. In my hand is like I think a Retro Generation, a Earth Destroying Kamehameha, a Homicidal Clones, and I can't remember the last one. We'll see here. Oh, it was an Android 18.
So, yeah, I know he has the Xeno Cell under his leader. So, even though I can't attack, the only way I can try and extend the game is to play Cell and rip Wretched out of his hand, and hopefully he doesn't have an android to draw more cards from his leader. And, he's just going to go ahead and kill Cell, so I'm not going to get very much value out of it, but it did help me extend the game, which is kind of like a niche use for this secret rare.
Yeah, I chose the charge because I had an android and then another card I needed in my hand, so I just did not want to charge either of them, just so that way I might see another Wretched. I can maybe stop an attack or two, maybe see a Dormant and extend the game a little bit, have some energy open. Maybe see my second Bupo. But as you see here, he gets to turn 6, and this is just a turn. It's very frustrating with Syn Shenron, and if I had the Bupo in my hand right now, it'd be something I would have to worry about because he only has 1 card in hand right now, I think. He's got 1 card.
One card in hand. Yep.
So he wouldn't have an attack at all last turn. If I had kept Bupo, I mean, if he didn't rip it, but it's all he could have ripped it from my hand, and it would be moot, But yeah, there's that 1 Dormant, and
then coming in with the triple strike. Then I just went ahead and comboed as high as I could.
I got to get out of that, and I was so excited because the top draw is a Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Unison that I can't use because I have no androids in hand to draw with a leader, and I can't discard a green card to play
to
it.
Get the board wipe. Yeah.
If it's one of those things where if I had maybe kept that Bupo, I could have had an extra card in hand there to do that and won the game. But it's in hindsight, it's just I played the best I could with my information. The Bupo is probably the only mistake that I did in that one, where I could have had an extra card in hand.
Yeah, I really think you stalled me out enough with the Frieza, and really just doubling down with Bupo only was your only real mistake that game, I think.
Like I said, I watched that game, and you guys played it it proves how good you all are at this game. I thought for sure Jake was going to lose. And that Bupo being your only mistake. And the little mistakes like that cost you big when you have 2 skilled players going in at each other.
So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed today's matchup. Keep in mind his buttons down below and on screen while Fluff does the outro.
Both should be proud of that matchup. It was an awesome one to watch. Hopefully we get a third in that series. So make sure they get paired again. Syn Shenron versus Cell. I'm waiting for Austin's revenge here. As always, read your cards, know your plays. Let us make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And Fluff out.